Hey guys, this is Kime Interviews. We are here with Sleepwave. If you guys could introduce your name and position in the band.
My name is Spencer, and we do this all the time. I sing live, but on the record I sing, play guitar, keyboards, program, blah, 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 everything with drums.
I'm Steven, and let's see, on record, guitar, bass, keys, programming, and live I play guitar and keys.
So on that note, let's talk about that a little bit. I was going to save it for later, but what's it like, guys, having a different live band than you have actually like writing the record? Like, what do those people?
Well,
you know?
We are the only two that write, so and we can play everything but drums. And normally we have the drums pretty much programmed out. When we show up and a session drummer comes in, between us, him, and the producer, we nail it down to something we want. You know, it's not very uncommon. You know, like Nine Inch Nails, Mars Volta. You know, a lot of bands there will be like two people, one person, you know, in the studio, and then live you'll see like 6 people up there. So, you know, it keeps it from being, you know, too many cooks in the kitchen, and you know, you don't want to get 2 years down the road and some guy goes, I quit, we're not doing this anymore, and then you have to start over again because some ass clown doesn't want to play. So why do that when we can do it all ourselves? And that's how it always started. So when the idea became to be a band, why involve all these other people that had nothing to do with what we've been doing for the last year, you know?
Sure. I mean, I think a cool part about the live aspect of it is, and I'm sure anybody who's a musician that is watching this can agree on some level, you make a record and then it becomes this thing and you sort of repeat. The cool thing for us is that what we created in the studio and the sound of that is like, what happens live is one step left of center because there's other players involved, other vibes, other feelings, you know what I mean? And in my mind, it makes for a more interesting live show because you're not just regurgitating a record. Like, we write interludes together, we do all kinds of fun stuff for the show specifically.
Yeah.
And I think if it was just the two of us the whole way, not that it wouldn't be that, but it wouldn't have that added layer of strange, you know what I mean? And I dig that. I really enjoy that.
We have the same live band live, so it's not like it's different people every time, you know, it's like
interchangeable.
And yeah, so it works out good.
Yeah. So let's talk about the album. It's coming out really soon. It's streaming right now.
Streaming.
So what if go listen, exactly. So how have fan reactions been so far, and you know, what have you been hearing?
We haven't heard really a bad word about the record. I mean, I think the hardest thing for us being a new band is getting people to go listen to it, because every person that's reviewed it and seen it, except for I think I found one guy that was angry, and I'm pretty sure he was like straight edge tattoos, covered in, you know, with a Converge shirt on, you know what I mean, like someone that listened.
I still dig that either way.
Yeah, well, no, there's nothing wrong with that, but I think he was more probably expecting Underoath 2.0. And when he heard a record full of melody and, you know, song structure, he was probably pissed. But for the most part, you know, anyone that gives it a listen has been very happy with it. We've got nothing but positive feedback, and either way, we're happy. So we really don't give a shit, because we write for us, and I think that's what makes an honest record. That's what makes a real record is you stick true to yourself, and you stop trying to appease everyone else, and you'll make a good record.
Amen to that. Yeah, amen to that.
So can you guys take me through the recording process for this album? You know, I heard in another interview that you guys are basically cut off from like shortcuts like Melodyne and vocal lines. So how was that? I mean, I know that you didn't do that much clean vocals for Underoath. So
I did on every record. You just whatever. That's a whole different story. Doesn't even matter.
I just mean like it wasn't the main thing.
Yeah,
so like
it was. You know, I was a singer. A lot of these kids don't understand. These young kids, like, I didn't hear a metal band and learn how to do vocals. I was a singer before. When I started singing, there was no such thing as bands screaming. It was just something I learned to do when I got into metal. So for me, really, it was just a breath of fresh air to not have to do something that I felt like I have to do because we have to. Like, if you listen to the record, there are some screams on the record, but it's when the emotion takes over and it needs to happen, as opposed to like, well, if you're a metal band or a hardcore band, whatever you want to call it, metalcore, whatever your billion terms you guys have for it, it's like if the majority of the song isn't screamed, then kids are pissed off. It's like, that's not what this band is. It's a whole new thing. It's just so amazing just to be able to do whatever makes most sense for the song. Yeah. Not because we have a past or we have our last record sounded like this. So we were free, and it was for the first time in 11 years for me. I've been able to do exactly what I wanted. So.
All right. So was it at all nerve-wracking realizing that production was going to be minimal? Like, going into the studio being like, oh crap, like
No,
this is.
I don't think it was minimal. I think Bendith just is old school, and I think that's awesome. I think it sounds better than all this computer fixed bullshit where you edit everything to death. It's like, dude, that's a real record. If you listen to that record, that's exactly how we played it. That's how I sang it. That's how I played guitar, he played guitar, and how he played bass, and how our drummer that came in actually played it. That's like the 70s. It's like the 90s, man. It's like
he beat us up good and proper, but I think it made us better players at the end of the day. And I can't argue the way the record sounds because it's what happened in the room. You know what I mean?
What happened in the 90s when you heard Alice in Chains and you go, that dude's voice is insane, and you went and saw him live and you go, wow, that dude's voice is insane. A lot of times you get these things you hear on record, that's insane. You go see a band live, they can't do it because it's fake. I'm not calling anyone out. I'm just saying it's really refreshing to be in a room with a guy who's 60 years old who goes, you know, I didn't grow up that way, so you guys are gonna do it my way. Otherwise, don't hire me. And
it's awesome.
You know,
yeah, it's awesome.
You're playing your heart out, and like we've both been playing our whole lives, and I think we left better musicians. And I urge any band friend of mine to try to do a record that you take no shortcuts. I think it's killer, man. All it will do is make you stronger.
So, is there like a funny story or fun fact about the recording process that you can tell fans that would just kind of like semi blow their mind?
I saw a ghost. Really? Like legitimately saw a ghost.
Yeah.
So we're doing the Airbnb thing. I don't know if people know what that is. It's basically like a peer-to-peer, you know, hotel service essentially, where someone leaves their apartment or their house for a period of time and they put it up for rent while they're gone. Right, so which is cool because when you're making a record, a hotel room would literally drive you mad, you know, because it's just white walls and whatever. So we're staying at this place. We finished our stay. In the last 3 nights in the studio, we had to stay at the studio. So we blew up air mattresses and slept in the live room. And this is like industrial Jersey. The building's been there for like, you know, 80, 90 years. And middle of the night, yeah, I wake up and there's this dude with a beard, kind of shaggy black hair, this plaid button up, and he basically looks like a construction worker from the early 80s, right? Just like cliched 80s movie construction worker. So I see this dude, and I don't really think anything of it. I don't know if I'm awake or dreaming or whatever. And I kind of like rub my eyes and look back up, and the dude's still there, and right then he does this like I scared him kind of vibe. I blink, and the dude's gone entirely, just like as gone as anything. I just see the table behind him.
But isn't the best part of the story that after you saw a ghost, you left the room and left me in there sleeping?
No, that's not the best. Well, okay,
that's pretty funny.
My bad. Look, I'm scared out of my mind, dude. So where I thought he was going with that is Bendith calls me a month after we finished the record and we're gone. Another band's in there, and apparently another guy in another band saw the same dude in the same room. So weird.
But it's equally as funny that you leave your boy hanging on an air mattress.
Well, you look so cute sleeping. I didn't want to stir you.
When the guy who's about to kill me, a ghost is about to kill me.
Oh my God, that's insane. No Ouija boards there.
He might just possess you and you get all early 80s.
Maybe I already am. That's the purple thing that I was seeing in the last interview.
You know?
That's insane. I would shit my pants.
Trip me out, man. Trip me way out, you know?
All right, and so I know you guys talked about in like a lot of previous interviews like the B-sides and whatnot and how that ended up becoming the single. What is your actual favorite song that you guys have on this record?
I love the record as a whole. I know that's so cliche to say, but like to me, I put the songs in an order for a reason because the way, like Through the Looking Glass to me isn't our strongest song, but it's not our weakest song. I don't think there's a weak song on the record. I think at song 10 out of 11, it makes sense. So when the label goes, it's the first song for people to hear, it blew my mind. I was like, well, now they're doing it all backwards.
Yeah.
They're not supposed to hear that one first. That makes no sense to me. So, because I think it serves its purpose at song 10, but being the first thing you hear is just so strange to me. But you know, that's why you trust your record label, and I understand why they did it. It's a little bit easier song to digest compared to the others, and it opens doors for you to do, you know, push weirder songs in the future. But yeah, I mean, I don't have a favorite. I love them all. They all have a different little space in my heart. So
I love Hold Up My Head. I do have a favorite.
I do.
I'm totally,
I love that
I'm totally
one.
biased to that song. Yeah,
My dad. That's my dad's favorite too.
Yeah, I love that.
So if it
song.
means anything, Frank Chamberlain and Stephen Bowman both love "Hold Up My Head" the most.
Boy.
What's it about?
Well, you know, I don't like to go into that too, because then you cheapen it for everyone. You know, to me, it's about, you know, it's about being left alone and like what once was there to be a crutch. You know, a friend, a family member, a girlfriend, a best friend, anything that you could imagine. Like that crutch is now gone. So basically, in that song, you're dealing with being self-aware. I know that's kind of like the theme of the record, but it definitely hits at song 5 and song 11 the most, to where, you know, me being the writer about myself, it's like at that point is one of the first times I'm like, well, now I don't have anything to lean on anymore. And at the end of the record, I'm actually standing on my own 2 feet. So
That's cool. I like that. So there is that kind of theme, because I know there was a theme. And
yeah, I mean, it's not like a concept record. You know, it's like each song is its own individual story. But you know, overall, that's why it's called Broken Compass. It's like your sense of direction, your tool, your easy, you know, device that tells you north is that way, and you know rescue is to the north, is now broken. So you just have to use your internal compass and believe in yourself and go, you know, if I believe it's that way, I'm going to go that way. Because if you second guess yourself, if you don't trust yourself, then halfway through that journey you turn around and go a different direction, you'll probably die. You know, starve to death.
that's really interesting. Good to know.
Bitten by a lizard.
Yeah.
And then bleed out.
So many things
Holes.
can happen. So many things can happen.
All right. So lastly, guys, where are you heading after Aftershock? Just let fans know where you're going.
Tomorrow we're here.
Okay.
Yeah, we're hanging the hell out, dude. That's what
We
we're
have a day
headed.
off
Yeah.
tomorrow, and then we're doing the whole on the trek back to Florida. We have some shows.
South altogether, like
Yeah, across the
Southwest, South proper, and then Southern South, and then Florida. Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, make sure to check out Sleepwave, and their album comes out on the 16th. You can watch it now streaming on YouTube with Epitaph Records.
Yep.
So make sure to check that out, guys. And that concludes the interview. Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
Kind of interviews.
Go buy it. Buy it now.
Go buy it.
Yeah, it's a strange concept, right? Buy the record. Weird.
Whoa.